Well, every day that passes by, the United Takeover nears to its accomplishment or to its announcement. And we've been told by a certain journalist coming in from the business that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's takeover bid effectively dead. It's being regarded as dirty, and obviously that of Sheikh Jassim Al Thani is being regarded as clean. So it shows you that we are obviously getting to where we want, because Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the one who's really keeping the Glazers in divided opinions. But if he wasn't around, things would have gone ahead to run smoothly. And the reason has been given why his proposal is dead, is seen as effectively dead, and why that of Sheikh Jassim Al Thani is seen clean. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys? And where you're watching us from, I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and continue to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now today is really a Friday, and I really understand that my Muslim brothers and sisters, subscribers and viewers are really going to go to the mosque in what we call a Juma Karim, and obviously Juma Karim to my Muslim friends and subscribers and viewers. Then I'm having the Christians that the Lord has seen go far, May the Almighty Lord bless you abundantly. And we start it off with Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. There is something concerning the Rain Group. We are talking Tom Heaton. Eric Ten Hag has blocked him from leaving Man United. And lastly, there is another fixture that has been added to already the existing ones to take the tally to 7 or 8 before we kickstart off our season on the 12th, on Monday of August, as we play Wolverhampton Wanderers at Old Trafford. Let's see close to 300 likes. Smash on this video, because I know we can, because we've already done this before, and I believe we are really doing great. Few subscribers left for us to hit 14,000 subscribers. Let's continue subscribing to this channel. Now let's continue and obviously kickstart it off with the following, and it starts off from David Hale. He's a financial journalist who has landed at the mighty Bloomberg. Said, I would near tweet about football, but now I also write about it, obviously. So that is a man working for Bloomberg and at business. He has told us that he's at Sir Jim's Ineos takeover bid is effectively dead as things stand due to minority stakeholders' threat of legal action, So this is due to minority shareholders' threat of legal action against the board. Now, business does not write about football. They write about business aspects. And in his tweet, you've not heard about anything concerning Eric Ten Hag or what, or tactics or what. He's talking the business sense that his takeover is seen as effectively dead. Do you know why it's effectively dead? The minority shareholders are really telling the Glazers, why do you want Sir Jim to come in through and buy a minority stake? And that minority stake, we are excluded. It's only going to the Glazers, 4 siblings, and you two are really staying. Yet, there is a bid that can occupy 100% of the entire club coming in from Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, and you're blocking it. That means you should go ahead and really consider that not a minority stake or sale. And this is something that is causing trouble and mayhem in the camp of the Glazers, as the siblings are divided of the sale of United, but 2 want to stay, 4 want to go. But it's all leaning towards the majority winning, because if 2 want to stay and 4 want to sell to Sheikh Jassim Al Thani, the minority stakeholders that fall into the 31% also want to sell to Sheikh Jassim Al Thani. Then that means Avram Glazer and Joel Glazer have no say. And when you look at all those shares that have been really categorized, they have really limited shares concerning to others, because others have minority shares. One has 16, one has, 15? The other 4, there is one who has 19, there is one who has 21. So the other 4 are really having more shares combined. And if at all, they really combine what we call their Class B shares, even if these 2 combine, they cannot beat the other 4. You understand? So it's all about a decision left to be made by the 4 members of the Glazers family to make a resolution that let's vote. Because if voting is put in place, obviously the other ones will walk out with the amount of money. So if it's 100%, if it's 100% money, sorry, if 100% sale of Man United, that will see the Glazers share, if it's 5.5 billion pounds, 5.5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, divided by 61. I'm just getting to see how much are they really going to get. So 60% of the 5.5 billion pounds is almost 4, all 3.5, around 3.5 billion pounds that these 6 siblings are supposed to share. When divided by 6, that means everyone will walk out with a minimum of like 500, right? 500, 600 million pounds. And for the other Glazers, it's okay for them to really get that amount of money from these shares. But for Joel Glazer and Avram, they're really playing hardball at this juncture. Now, they went ahead to really let us know that 9-2 Foundation of Sheikh Jassim Al Thani is more positive following their improved fifth offer, but there is also still skepticism over the Glazers' intentions. Those close to the group view the most likely outcome as Qatari win all, no sell, and are still in the dark. So there is still that room that everyone is really thinking of the Glazers not selling, but I really understand that the other 4 siblings will obviously push it. They'll push for it because they know dividends had stopped coming in through, and they have no clarity that these dividends are going to continue coming in through, and I think they are going to push for it to see to it that this club gets sold, according to my own understanding. As the Glazers want to stay, but there is lots of positivity in the 9-2 Foundation. This is coming to pass in favor of the Qataris. But amid these other people throwing in stories that Sheikh Jassim Al Thani is in the lead and the bid of Sir Jim Ratcliffe is declared or is seen as dead, in your sources insist it has not been communicated to them that they're out of the race, but insiders indicate the bid will struggle to gain board approval in its current form. So it shows you that it's going to be hard for him to come through and obviously convince the board to put this onto where it's supposed to be, because it really looks very, 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 very opposite, very opposed. It has lots of opposing effects coming in from the minority stakeholders. And Jacobs Ben continued and told us that Rain Group continues to engage with multiple suitors, but there is a growing sense Ratcliffe must alter his structure if he's to get board approval. 9-2 Foundation bid is a cleaner transaction. So obviously his transaction is seen as a dirty transaction, and of course it is, because if you're keeping the Glazers at Man United, you are really the number one enemy of this club, because all what we've gone ahead to fall into, it's because of the Glazers. That is it. That's why Samuel Lucas put out a story that the Glazers have never injected not even a single pound in the club of Man United. All they've gone ahead to abuse is the amount of money that United is making. When we find ourselves in a situation like last summer, when we don't have money but there is room for us to go ahead and really inject money that won't violate the financial fair play, they go and get a loan like they did last time. They got a loan of 250 million pounds and they spent 150 million pounds on Casemiro and Anthony signing. Those are the Glazers, and that is the wrath of the Glazers. They've gone ahead to really extend to Man United, something that should come to stop us up, and it should not be really seen as one of those things that have ever happened to Man United. Almost 2 decades of really decaying this club of Man United. Time has come for them to really bamosh and really show us their backs from Man United and give this club to Sheikh Jassim Al Thani. So it's all about Sheikh Jassim transaction seen as clean. That of Sir Jim Ratcliffe has been seen as dirty, and it's seen as effectively dead. Huge boost that most of you need to hear and jubilate about it. Now, let's go to Erik ten Hag as he tries to see David De Gea out, get Andre Onana in, Dean Henderson out. That means we'll be left with just one goalkeeper known as Tim Heaton. But Tim Heaton has been attracting huge interest coming in from Luton Town. And guess what? Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to do the following to this goalkeeper. Erik ten Hag has blocked a move for Tom Heaton to Luton Town, where he would have been number one goalkeeper. Heaton has been told he will not be allowed to leave Man United this summer. That is Erik ten Hag, stopping him to go to Luton Town. And Erik ten Hag has told Tom Heaton that he will not be allowed to leave Man United this summer, despite asking the club to permit a transfer to Luton Town. It follows the decision to withdraw the contract offer to David De Gea, who is now out of contract this week. Now, Tom Heaton is an academic graduate of Man United, though he never got to play very many games and he found himself going to other teams. He was brought back by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, his mates, whom they were with at Man United, with lots of promises that he's going to be the second choice goalkeeper for Man United. And surprisingly, he found himself in a situation of being a third choice goalkeeper because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer brought Dean Henderson into the mix, right, and failed to really dislodge him. So he found himself not getting the number of games that he really required, and it will be on record that Erik ten Hag is going to hate to offer Tom Heaton more games than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who brought him at the club of Man United. And it was at a point X complaining that when he came in at Man United, he was told that he was going to be a starter, and obviously things had to really invert in a very worst way. But he would love to go to Luton Town. Ten Hag has told him, you are going nowhere. You are going nowhere. You have to stay because we're having a shortage of goalkeepers. David De Gea is leaving. Dean Henderson is leaving. We are getting in Andre Onana, and we are trying to really get another goalkeeper on loan, because even Butland, who we signed on loan from Crystal Palace, has permanently signed for Rangers in Scotland. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But if at all the player continues really pressing it hard, I think Ten Hag will tell the board, can we get a goalkeeper of like £5-6 million and we let this one go? Because you can't keep a player who is unhappy in your camp. Ten Hag knows it, and he knows its effects, that the more you keep a player who is unhappy in your camp, the more trouble you bring to yourself. So Ten Hag knows that better than any of us. So let's wait and see how that is going to happen for Man United. And guys, as the Community Shield is going to be played, United have gone ahead to really put up another fixture, and it's obviously going to be against a team coming in from France. And we've been told that it's official. Man United will play RC Lens at Old Trafford on Saturday, 5th August in a pre-season friendly. That will mark the end of our pre-season as we prepare for the game. Now, which other games have been lined up by Erik ten Hag for us before we see our season start off? We are having Leeds in Oslo, Lyon, I think in Scotland, Man United, Arsenal on the 23rd of July. It's going to be played down in America. Then we are having Wrexham, 26th July in America, Real Madrid, 27th July in America, Dortmund, that game is going to be played down in America, and obviously Atletico Madrid, this game is going to be played in Norway. And another one has been added at Old Trafford on the 5th, that is it, against a side called Rennes, meaning that on the 6th, as we play Athletic Bilbao, we would have gone ahead to play. We'll first play a game at Old Trafford on Friday against RC Rennes, and then another team will play away at Atletico Madrid, in Norway. So Ten Hag needs to find himself which team is going to play at Old Trafford and which team is going to play away in Oslo as we take on Atletico Bilbao, as he did it last time. Because remember, we played Atletico Madrid in Oslo, that was Norway, on Saturday, and on Sunday we played Rayo Vallecano at Old Trafford. The team that played Atletico Madrid had David De Gea, Delo right back, Luke Shaw left back. It had Rafael Varane and Harry Maguire in the central defense. Then in the midfield we had Scott McTominay. We had Eriksen, that was his first game for Man United. Then we had Bruno Fernandes, that was the midfield three. The forward line had Sancho as a right forward, Rashford as a left forward, Anton Martial leading the line. And Anton Martial got an injury into that game. And we saw even Facundo Perez to come on through and obviously got an injury. Now, the team that played at Old Trafford had Tom Heaton in goal. Then Layard played as the right back. Malacia played as the left back. Lisandro Martinez and Eric Bay played into the central defense. Then we had Ghana playing in the midfield with who did he play with the midfield? Ghana, I think he played with, is it Scott McTominay or Fred? One of those. I think it was Fred. Then he went ahead to put in Donny van de Beek ahead of them. Garnacho, Alejandro. Ronaldo was leading the line. And who was playing as the right winger in that game? Anthony Elanga, right? So that was the team that played really onto that day. And we saw the likes of Zidane Ikbo coming in through Savage and Aaron, you know? So that is it. Coming in from Erik ten Hag. 2 games to be played in the space of 2 days, meaning that he would love to see his entire squad having minutes at the end of the preseason. But you really anticipate that we are going to be having a bloated squad. That is it. Because you anticipate that the main game, maybe that's going to be played away at Atletico Madrid when you're playing Atletico Bilbao. We'll be having Andre Onana in goal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, Varane, Lisandro Martinez. Then Casemiro, Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes, Anthony, Rashford, and maybe Anton Martial. So, and the second string side will be having another goalkeeper like Tom Heaton, Dalo, Malacia, Victor Lindelof. If we bring in a new center back, of which I know you're going to bring in one, maybe Disasi. Then in the midfield, we'll be having the CDM that Erik ten Hag is going to get in, because you're going to sign a second midfielder after Mason Mount. You'll see the likes of Ericsson playing to that game. You'll see the likes of Amadi Diallo having a chance. You'll see the likes of Garnacho playing to that team. So he's going to divide it in his own way. So guys, your thoughts onto Sir Jim Ratcliffe's takeover bid effectively dead, you know, and that of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, obviously it's triumphing at the juncture. So what do you make about that? And do you agree with Erik ten Hag to block the move of Tim Heaton away from Man United? And lastly, what do you make about the recently added fixture onto the mini that you're going to play at early the preseason? And it's going to be against RC Rennes from France. So Rokan David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later, and I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living true God protect you abundantly. I'm out. Ciao, ciao, my Muslim friends and subscribers. It's Juma Karim, not Ramadan Karim. Juma Karim.